I'm Nick Altmeyer with linkinglewiscounty.com. We're here this afternoon with Lewis County Manager Ryan Piche, and we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming month in Lewis County government. So, kick things off tomorrow with the monthly Board of Legislature meeting.
Yep.
So that'll be August 7th, Tuesday. There's a little bit of a change. Normally the meeting starts at 5 p.m. This month we'll be starting at 9 a.m. And Ryan's going to explain a little bit about what that change was.
So tomorrow we are having as Nick mentioned, changing up the schedule a little bit, and the reason for that is that we are honoring county employees and doing a little employee appreciation day. So during the meeting at 9 o'clock, employees will be recognized who have hit certain milestones in their service with the county, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, that type of thing. And then after the meeting, the Board of Legislators will be serving a lunch to the employees as an appreciation for their work and service to the community.
All right. So kind of a County Employee Appreciation Day.
Absolutely.
Here in Lewis County.
Yep.
Very good. Okay. And so there's not a whole lot on the agenda for the board meeting tomorrow. There's some just regular taking care of monthly business. Nothing really super important jumped out at us. I thought it was worth mentioning that we like to keep up with additions to the ATV trails and things like that. So there is a resolution in the packet to add a property in Harrisville. It's the Dirkish property to the county ATV trail system. So I know you had a chance last week to get out and check out the trail system a little bit and some of the work they've been doing. So if you wanted to speak about that a little bit.
I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of progress that we made every year, adding more properties, building more trails, maintaining more trails, and it's really a self-sufficient process because that trail maintenance crew is funded by the ATV permits. So the more trails we build, the more permits we sell, we're able to expand the system and hopefully expand the economy in Lewis County as well.
Great. So the only other thing, and they're not really resolutions, but there's a couple of requests for proposals, requests for bids out right now with the county. So I know phase one of JCC got awarded last month.
Yes, sir.
And construction underway or
not
is
quite yet.
About to get underway.
Absolutely. DC Building Systems out of Watertown won the bid and has agreed to perform the work. So they are finalizing some contract details and finishing up some other jobs, but they'll be with us shortly. And then phase two is out to bid right now. So phase one was the infrastructure and the shell of the building, the steel shell, and phase two is finishing the inside of the building. So that's out to bid for proposals right now as well, along with another project that's separate. It is the roof of the county clerk building, which is where we're sitting right now. It's a small roof that covers the original clerk side of the house here in the courthouse complex, and that is out for bid right now as well.
Okay. So just routine maintenance, or an issue arose where, or it's just
routine that was on our capital plan going back to 2018, 2017 when we did the 2018 budget. So we've been planning this for a while, and between the new roof and the some of the painting that will be happening starting September 1st on the courthouse building, it'll look a little bit fresher, even though it's about 100 years old.
Right. So as far as the JCC project, the educational facility over there, are we still targeting completion, January completion?
Absolutely. We've been on an aggressive timeline. We still feel that we are able to complete the project in that timeline. Our engineers feel that we're able to do that, and the contractors that we've hired so far are optimistic that we're able to do that. So as far as I'm concerned and our team here at the county, we are fully expecting to be complete and open for business for the spring semester.
Okay. And I guess the last subject to touch on is you guys have started, as the county manager and some of your department heads working into budget season, and obviously, budgets aren't due for a little bit yet, but we all know how time flies by. And so this is a process you've been in pretty heavily the last week or two. So
absolutely.
Did you want to address budget season at all, or how those talks are coming along?
Sure, yeah. We're a little bit ahead. We started the process earlier this year than we did last year. So, we're a little less pressure to get things, going right now. But we've been meeting with department heads We've solicited all the groups that we give county tax money to that are outside the county function. Those have all, those letters have gone out, and we've gotten some of them back. We've met with about half the departments, I'd say, so far, and over the next 2 weeks we'll meet with the other half of departments, and by the end of August we should have a pretty good idea of what we're looking at. And then from there, it's just a matter of prioritizing, working with the board to choose the things that are important to them going forward, and some of the things that we might have to take a look at, our level of commitment to. And by the end of October, we'll have a document that I think everyone will support, and it'll go to the board, and we'll have our budget.
Okay. So I think we touched on it a little bit last month, but I think the county's looking at a $450,000 estimated tax cap this year.
It'll actually be a little bit more than that. For the first time since, I think, 2014, I forget the exact year, but it hasn't happened in a long time. The tax cap is actually the 2% inflation rate. Yeah. So we've got a little bit more leeway than most years with the tax cap. Of course, our goal is to we don't want to increase tax at all, if possible. But
on the other hand, there's expenses that we already know about, the IGT funding going up and things like that. So
there's things that we know are coming in this year's budget that are going to make it very difficult to stay under the tax cap. But we do have about $480,000 to work with. But just to put that in perspective, we're running a $46 million budget.
Right.
So $480,000 is not a lot of wiggle room. When you consider employment salaries increase, health insurance increases, just the nature of running a business year to year, has some natural increases in costs. So,
and even just the increase in IGT alone is much more than the $480,000.
Absolutely, yeah.
If that goes up by
that's a $1.3 million increase right there.
Right.
So, that's why we started early.
Right.
That's why we started early.
Right.
And my goal is to get everything on the table first. Let's see where everyone is with their requests, and then from there we can start making value decisions of what's important, and some tough decisions, of course. But that's where the Board of Legislators comes in as well.
Right. All right. Great. Well, so again, just as a reminder, tomorrow's meeting will be at 9 a.m. That's right here in the Board of Legislature chambers on the second floor of the old courthouse here in Lowville. And there will be the employee appreciation, giving out the certificates and things like that, recognizing the milestones, and then following that, the board will be doing the picnic with the county employees. So anyone interested in the meeting, though, 9 a.m. So we thank you for your time today, Ryan.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nick.
Yep.